What if God was one of us? What if God was on the bus? Atheist Bus Campaign, love the idea. Thank you, Atheist, for posting that video campaign. And of course, the religious people are attacking the Atheist Bus Campaign because they're saying it's an attack on our religion. Well, I hope they spend just as much time attacking ungodly and unjesus-like corporations like Walmart. Then maybe we would have a more equitable society where employees are treated better. I hope the Atheist Bus do come to Canada. That's more exciting than Obama coming for a visit. And Obama, as you probably know, maybe not, Obama is coming to Canada as the first foreign country visit, and that's pretty exciting and incredible considering how Ottawa, Canada is so far away from Washington, D.C. And over the past 2 days, I have been called a lot of racist, hateful names, sexist, demeaning names, and attacks from Israel supporters. And I have also heard a lot of comment about people calling Muslims as illiterate, monkey people, dog who lack civility. And they definitely don't deserve anything. And I think what Israel is doing is wrong, and even though my stand will probably cost a few friends or opportunities, I think it's very important to stand up for justice, considering that about 1,000 people have died in this massacre. And I was also called a lying terror supporter for opposing Israel aggression. Good thing I'm not Muslim, because I would be called probably a suspect terrorist and probably detaining Guantanamo Bay. And by the way, Obama, I hope you're shutting down the Guantanamo Bay because we want Omar Khadr back. He's a Canadian. And when I hear those comments, it reminds me of people calling third world country people or Aboriginal people as people who are uncivilized, backward, and people who need civilization. Definitely the Europeans have killed a lot of Aboriginal people for the sake of their savagery and their need for enlightenment. And not long ago, we still do hear some who suggest women are governed by hormones and reproductive destiny, and they're not bearers of minds with the capacity for intelligent rationality and free will, and women are characterized as emotional, that could be true, sentimental, irrational, and illogical. And by the way, check out the comments and from the video of a guy who said that men are better than women. He actually have a website called www.menarbetterthanwomen.com, and he has a lot of male supporters. I think it's very important to recognize that there's similarity between people, and it's important to challenge racist stereotypes. And it's also very important to look at people not as inferior or superior, but to understand the possible historic and current reason that caused certain people from certain cultures to do certain things that we see as uncivilized. When Palestinians are routinely dehumanized as third world refugees and receive brutal and horrific violences as a normal daily occurrence, it is easy to understand why many of them would also resulting in committing unspeakable violence to others. A lot of schoolyard bullies also become bullied precisely because they have been abused at home. And the author of the book, The Dark Side of Nations, suggests that when we talk about us versus them, we often forget about our own colonial and imperialistic relationship with those lesser cultures. And in order to look at the situation of Palestinians, we have to also consider those people as the former colonial power still locked in the imperialistic relationship with the rest of the world. We consider as savages or monkey or whatever, they have just as much of a substantive and complex history. They are just as diverse as us, and we need to look at them not as people who are deserving of whatever fate that they receive. It wasn't the Palestinians who started the Holocaust. It was the Europeans. It was the Germans. And you know, they wanted to discriminate the Jewish people in the 1930s and 40s, so they send them land that doesn't belong to them, send them to the Middle East, and forget about them and give them a home just for Jewish people. This was the Europeans who were discriminating against the Jewish people. The Europeans should deal with the problems and let Jewish people live everywhere else they want to? Why should we send them to some place in the Middle East so, the problem is solved, and because we don't care about the Palestinians, so we should just send them there anyways, because, we don't have to worry about the Palestinians and their land. In the U.S. have supported third world dictators who are brutal to their own people. The U.S. has supported Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden. Israel has supported Hamas in the past to divide the Palestinians in the past. And we cozy up with Saudi Arabia, which has a horrible human rights record just because they have oil. And during the Cold War, the U.S. and Soviet has treated the people of Global South as pawns. The Vietnam War is a good example. And by the way, I love the protests during the Vietnam War. Go ahead, please. And the U.S. has backed Shah of Iran by Islam fundamentalists in the past. We have supported Islam fundamentalists. It's time to understand that maybe we're not those people because we think they're not deserving of justice. And maybe we're not more civilized. We just have better luck of being born where we are. And by the way, Naomi Klein, an activist, a very strong feminist, say that we should start an Israel boycott, because apparently that has worked in South Africa. It's the only way to end the apartheid, I think. She said that the boycott on South Africa was effective, but Israel is handled with kid gloves. This international backing must stop. And I believe that an Israel boycott is not anti-Jewish people. There are a lot of Jewish people, I have to say, who are against what Israel is doing, and we should not support what Israel is doing. And the only way they will ever listen is if we put money where our mouth is.